Welcome to class. Welcome. So I'm Sally, just going to move through a yoga flow now. I invite you to start in hero pose. So you can either just sit back onto the heels with the knees together, hands just resting down onto the thighs there, or you might like to take a support. I've got a bolster here, as you can see, and just pop that underneath the hips. That can be quite nice if you've got achy joints today. It takes a little pressure off the knees and ankles, of course. And then we can just relax the hands down into the lap instead. All right, so let's just begin by sinking into our breathing. So bringing our awareness to our inhales and exhales. So just allowing the face to relax, just letting the jaw soften and relax. I've been doing that a lot recently and we're getting a lot less headaches. So if you're prone to headaches, just get in the habit of letting that jaw soften and relax. And then just drawing the shoulder blades towards one another a little so you get that nice little lift through the breastbone. And then we'll just soften the breath. So nothing too deliberate, just softly breathing. Slow, deep inhale and exhale. Good. And then we'll just start a little bit of spinal movement. So let's just begin circling around. So think about those sitting bones, the base of the pelvis, and we'll just gently roll over the sitting bones from there. Just gently waking up the sacroiliac joints and lumbar spine. And just coming back round the other way now. Again, just nice and slowly, deep inhale and exhale. Okay, and then just coming back to centre. We'll just take now the arms out and up. Nice deep breath in. And on the exhale, just bringing the hands down through the heart in prayer position. And then again, nice deep breath in. And again, exhale to come down. One more time from there. Inhale again, reaching up. And exhale to come down. Just sinking one hand to the floor now. We'll reach up and over from there, just into a sideways bend. Bringing the hand back down. Nice deep breath in again. And exhale to come over. Deep breath in. Let's do two more of those. Reaching up, feel the space through the rib cage. This time a little bit of a diagonal. So you're reaching up and over, a little bit of rotation there. Back to centre, nice deep breath in, lift. And again, just slowly over. Inhale again to come all the way up from here. Let's move on to hands and knees now. So coming over into box position. Hands just under the shoulders, of course, knees apart, swaying hips side to side. So again, just moving nice and gently, nice and slowly. Just letting the head move as well. And there's no wrong way to do this, okay? You just find your rhythm, find your groove. Okay, and then just coming back to centre. Just going to slide the left hand forwards. Reaching the right arm under, so back of the hand just slides along the floor, bringing the head down. Good, let the hand that's in front, let some weight sink down into it so you're not resting too hard on the head. Okay, and then pressing into that hand as you bring yourself back up, reaching forwards, and then again just threading under from there. So again, just taking nice big rotation. This is a real nice one just to wake up the middle back. You'll get a little light squeeze on the adrenal glands, waking you up a bit if you're a bit foggy. And then again, just coming back to centre. Balasana, just take the knees wide now, big toes just touch. Let the hands come forwards, spreading out the fingers. And again, we're long through the spine, we're dropping the shoulders down, the chin is level to the floor. And then elongate through the back of the neck, so back of the neck nice and long. So you've got that lovely space through the spine. The diaphragm is free to move as well. Deep inhale and exhale. And then take your time to come all the way back up onto hands and knees. This time we'll just bring the big toes to touch. We'll keep the big toes touching rather. And then just let the arms stretch all the way forwards, bringing the forehead down onto the mat. So long through the spine, again pressing down into the hands. Good. Bringing the hands again back towards you. Now separate the feet. We'll just bring the knees back in so they're round about hip width distance apart. And again, just letting the hands come forward, spreading the fingers out. Let's bring it up now into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. So hips just coming up and back. Let the heels sink down, neck nice and relaxed. We'll just bend one knee and then the other. So just shifting the weights now. Side to side, maybe taking a little bit of a sway there as well. Again, just moving gently side to side. Good. Again, a bit of a wiggle on those shoulders too. So the gaze, the drishti, is just turning side to side on each repetition. Okay, let's bring it back to center now. We'll just bring the knees down to the floor. Coming up now onto the fingertips, we'll just round on up through the spine. Again, letting the head relax down, tailbone tucks in a little. And then just releasing down from there. As you do so, just bringing one leg forwards, doesn't matter which one. And let hands walk forwards and just let the hips drop down. So I've got my left foot forwards and I'm just letting that right hip drop down towards the ground. So I've got a nice big twist on the pelvis. The weight is moving towards the outside of my left foot now. So just dropping down, getting into the psoas, other hip flexors, and then coming all the way back. It's going to take a lean back now and lifting onto the heel of that front foot as the head relaxes down. And then again, just coming forwards, and again, I'm just going to drop that right hip down. This time turning the left foot out a little. So getting a little more into that hip socket, stretching the labrum, ligament. And then again, just coming back. And again, just coming up onto the heel. Nice big stretch for that hamstring. Okay, let's bring it back again into downward dog. So let's tuck the toes under on that back foot. As you press into the hands, we'll take the front leg back. So this time a little more static in downward dog, just to mix things up. So pressing the hips up and back, heels again sinking down, pressing again firmly into the hands. Maybe just give the head a little bit of a shake again. Okay, one more breath. And then just taking your time again as you drop the knees back down to the floor. So just bringing the other foot forwards now. Okay. Transitioning forwards from there, nice and strong with the arms. And then I'm just going to drop from there, that left hip forwards and down. So the pelvis is just rotating towards the right side a little. And the weight is going towards the outside of that right foot. So just working into the hips. And then moving the pelvis back as we come up onto the heel now. So toes lifting on that front foot, head relaxing down. And then again, just coming forwards from there. Nice big exhale. This time I'm going to spin the foot out. So now the toes turning out to the side as I again drop the left hip. I'm keeping my arms locked, so my arms are taking quite a lot of the weight. Otherwise, for some people, definitely myself, it can get a little hardcore on the sacroiliac joints if you just let all the weight sink down into the pelvis. Be a little sore later. Okay, which we don't want. And then from there again, just coming back, coming up onto the heel again, head relaxing down. Okay, and then just taking your time as you bring that right leg back, or whichever leg you have forwards, and just sinking back from there. So this is shell stretch. We just bring the thighs together, let the spine just rest onto the legs as the arms just rest forward. So let's just bring the forearms down to the floor. If you find that that's just not enough space when the legs are together, do feel free to take the knees apart like a more traditional child's pose, just a little variation. And then invite you just to let the head rest into the hands. So you're just giving that jawline a bit of a stretch, stretching the muscles there. And the fingertips are just pressing lightly into the face. See how that relaxes the neck. Relax the jaw, just relaxing the tongue in the mouth as well. And then really breathing into the back ribs. Okay, and then just reaching forwards again. Okay, let's lift the knees up, downward dog, just for a moment this time. And then we're just bringing the hands back towards the feet for Uttanasana. So just letting the head now relax all the way down. And just let the shoulders lift up away from the ears a little. Getting that good big stretch up the back of the legs, calf muscles, hamstrings. And then let's just transition the weight forwards and back a little as well. So just moving the intensity of the stretch up and down the legs. Okay, let's bring ourselves up to standing now. So with the knees a little bent, we'll just slowly roll up through the spine. I like to walk the hands up the legs. And then we'll just come to the centre of the mat from there. Just take a moment in mountain pose. So see, when you bring the feet together in our traditional Tadasana, see how that works for your pelvis. For some people, especially those with a more rounded pelvis, it's likely it will just push the pelvis forwards, creating pressure on the lower back and down onto the organs. So if that's happening with you, just simply take the feet apart a little bit, about a fist width works well. And then you can probably find you can get a little bit more elongation through the base of the spine, sacroiliac area, and it just takes that nice little bit of pressure out from the lower back. And you can apply that to bigger postures such as Warrior Two, etc., triangle, just keeping that nice neutral alignment. Okay, all right. Talking a triangle, we're going to do that now. So let's take the feet nice and wide, reaching out with the arms so the ankles are just aligned under the wrists or thereabouts. Turning the right foot out, lifting the left heel, and we'll just turn that away. All right, breath in now. Going to exhale, come on down. So just resting the hand down, just below the knee or maybe a little bit lower. And then we're reaching up nice and strongly with that left arm. So we're just opening and broadening across the chest. Good, okay. And then just bringing the gaze up towards the left hand if your neck lets you. If it's a little tight in there today, maybe look forwards or just drop the gaze down. We've got 2 more breaths here. And then we're breathing in to come up. So take your time in that transition. Really use those core muscles as you lift. So that can be a little workout if you wanted to. Hands onto the hips. We're turning the toes in. Pasrita Padottanasana. So just a wide leg forward fold, in other words. Bringing the hands down onto the floor now. Let's align the hands under the shoulders, along through the spine, the toes are turned in a touch, and then press down through the outside edges of the feet. So you feel the insteps lift a little, so you get a really awesome stretch down the outside of the lower leg there. Let the hands now stretch forwards as though you're in downward dog, so just spreading out the fingers. Hips pressing back, head again just relax down from there. Enjoy that opening through the back body. If the legs are shaking, just soften the knees a little just to take the tension off the hamstrings. And then bring in the hands back towards you. We'll just bend the knees a touch now. We're going to turn the feet out to either side, so 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock kind of vibe. Hands onto thighs, goddess pose. We're coming on up. Going to keep the knees bent. And then just pull the elbows down as you drop the hips a little bit lower. Keeping the legs where they are now. Let's take an inhale and reach on up. Breathe in. We exhale to come down with the arms. Give those shoulder blades a bit of a squeeze together. We breathe in and we breathe out. Let's do one more. And then straightening through the legs, come on up. Jump or step the feet back now into mountain pose. So remember, as I mentioned, you might prefer to have the feet a little bit apart. And we'll come into standing cobra. So Hands onto the lower back now. Pressing the chest forwards and up, pressing the hips forwards. And the elbows are just drawing towards one another. This is a nice one to do a couple of times a day. Okay, and then just coming back up to neutral position, arms releasing down. So let's try that on the other side, Trikonasana left side. So from here, just turning that left foot all the way out, lifting the right heel and turning away from there. Okay, we're reaching out with the arms. Nice deep breath in. And then we're exhaling to come down from there. So just opening and broadening across the chest, reaching up into the fingertips. That's it. Great. Good. So again, I like to place my hand just below the knee. You're very welcome to take the hand a little bit lower. But remember, you want that feeling of openness in this posture. It's not a compression posture. Some are, most aren't in yoga. We're looking at opening around the joints. So sometimes when you go low, you feel a little squashed up. Yeah, I'd come up if that's your feeling right now. Okay, and again, just resting your gaze wherever feels okay in your neck today. All right, let's take our time now as we come up. So again, using that transition to just work the core. We're going to come forwards again from there. Let's again just bring hands onto the hips. Breath in, exhale, come on down. I've turned the toes in a little bit, so a little pigeon-toed. This time, let's get a little movement going. So I'm just going to take the hips side to side. Side to side. Good. And I feel like my feet want to be more parallel to one another, so I'm just going to change that position. So feel free to change ankle position. It's good to mix it up. Anyway. All right, just one more either side. And we're returning now to goddess pose. So again, just turning the feet out to either side. So 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Bending the knees now as you come on up. And then just dropping from there the arms down again into cactus arms. This time we'll add in lion breath. So just going to bob the hips down. You can take an inhale, reach all the way up, straightening the legs. And then we exhale. The tongue comes out, the gaze goes up. Breathing, think Goddess Kali. And again, 3 more. One more time. Good job. Okay, and then come on up from there. We'll return again to mountain pose. Good. All right. So we'll just come into a standing posture now. It's called swaying palm. It's a variation of tree pose, Vrikshasana. So bringing the weight over onto the left leg, and we'll bring the right foot up from there. Actually, I'm going to mirror you, so I think that'll work. So bringing the foot up. All right. Now you're very welcome to keep toes on the floor. You could always take the foot nice and high. Depends how you're feeling today. I'm just going to keep it low for now. And then just check the hips are level. So on the bent leg side, you'll probably find the hip wants to drop down, which can then make the sacroiliac joints at the back, which have a ton of nerves going through them, kind of unlevel. That's not what we want. So imagine you've got a spirit level there, bubble. We want that in the middle. So let's hitch that back up. Okay. And then just bringing hands to the heart from there. Either staying here or reaching the arms up and over. And then for swaying palm, we simply bring elbow down. So moving over towards the bent leg side, reaching over from there. So just a little lateral flexion, a little side bend. That's it. And when you do that, you're probably finding right now the ankle on the standing leg has to work harder. Mine definitely is. Let's take a breath in, come on up. And then we exhale, bringing the hands down. And then just popping the foot down from there. Good job. Great. Okay, other side. So just bring in now the knee out to the side. Again, remember you can have toes on the floor, taking the foot a little bit higher. Up to you. Feel free to float the arms up. And then we've got that option there of just coming also into a sideways bend. So moving over from there. Good. And if you're moving around a little bit, that's fine. That's part of the posture. There's no worries at all. That's just your body working hard to stabilize itself. Okay, one more breath. And then again, just coming all the way back up. Exhale, bringing the hands down. And then we'll just bring the feet back together or slightly apart and let the arms release down by our side, Tadasana. Okay, let's come towards the back of our mat now. We'll bring it down to the floor. We'll just take a squat from here. So Malasana, so nice deep squat. Let the hips sink down. I like to have a bit of a wiggle in this, just taking the weight from one side and back again. I think it's kind of nice on the ankles. Okay, and then just coming back to center. Going to move into downward dog again, so just stretching the hands out in front. And this time let's step the feet together, just to increase that stretch into the back of the legs. You might feel that a bit more in the calf muscles now. And then really just pressing nice and firmly into the hands, so you get that wonderful stretch in between across the shoulders and chest. Now let's step the feet back a tiny bit more, so we can move now into a high plank position. So we're simply inhaling, coming forwards. Exhale, press back. If high plank feels a bit too much, do feel free to move forwards into high plank and drop the knees down instead. Okay, just one more from there. Again, just slowly forwards, pausing here this time. All right, and then let's all just bring the knees down. And again, we'll just come back into that shell stretch. So just bringing the hips back to the heels. And letting the head again just rest into the hands. Do feel free to take the knees a little bit wider if that worked better for you last time. Okay, we'll just bring ourselves up to sitting now. Just going to take a couple of seated postures, so starting to wind down now. Do feel free to take a block or cushion just underneath the pelvis. That's a good idea if when you're sitting with the legs out in front, the pelvis for you tends to roll back a little bit. So we can just pop that prop underneath, and that should help take the pressure off the lower back. So just pressing into the heels now, so the toes are drawing back towards you. And we'll simply fold forward. So just very gentle Paschimottanasana. Gaze is forwards, we're breathing in and then exhaling to fold down. Again, just let the head relax down too, chin in towards the chest. Breathing into the back ribs. And then walking the hands back so they're either side of the hips. We're going to roll on up through the spine. And then just plant one foot flat to the floor. We're going to bend into the knee deeply, and then opposite arm wraps around. So it's Marichyasana C. We take the other hand to the floor behind. So this is a really great one to get into those big chunky muscles on the middle of your back, the latissimus dorsi muscles. Okay, and then coming back to center, just going to drop that bent leg out to the side now. Keep the hand behind you. Reach up from there, and let's see if we can just lift the hips. So nice big stretch up from there. Let the head relax down. Coming back, cobbler's pose, soles of the feet together, knees out to either side. Nice big inhale. Exhale as you come forwards and down. Back of the neck is nice and long. And just exhale to fold. Good. Breathing in now to come all the way up. Let's just take that twist and lift on the other side now. So wrapping around opposite arm to leg. Other hand just goes to the floor behind. Just taking a gentle twist there. Breathing in. Breathing out. And slowly coming back round now, dropping the bent leg out to the side. Again, we'll just reach on up from there, lifting the hips, letting the head relax back, enjoy the stretch. And then taking your time now as you again come all the way back down. Bringing again the soles of the feet together. A little variation now, we'll try opening the feet up. So the thumbs just press onto the soles of the feet, and then the soles turn up. Just a little variation, just increasing the mobility of the ankles. Okay, and then we'll release. Coming down onto our backs now. So let's from here place the hands under the thighs, and then we'll roll down from there, hugging the knees in. So give yourself a nice big hug. This is one of my favourite stretches at the moment. And then let the back of the neck lengthen so the chin moves in towards the chest. Placing the feet now down flat to the floor, and just have the feet slightly wider than the hips. Let the arms just kind of flop out to either side. We're going to lift the hips, scoop with the pelvis. Take your time as you come all the way up. And then we're simply rolling all the way back down. Let the hips come down from there. And then again, lifting the hips up. Take your time. And again, rolling back down. One more time. Again, lifting the hips up. And again, slowly back down from there. Good. Let the legs now just drop side to side. So just taking a little twist there. And you're ready to rest. So just now let the knees drop into one another, taking the feet wide, lower back can just relax down into the mat, and just let the hands rest wherever you're comfortable. See how that feels, and then if you feel like you want to just rest the legs down onto the floor, please go ahead. Again, just allowing the face to soften and relax now. You may like to close the eyes, if not, just soften the gaze. And then we're breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. See if you can start to lengthen that exhale now. So it's a slow, deep breath in, slow, deep breath out. Inhale for 3, exhale for 4. Breathing in, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then just let that keep going. So about another 5 rounds of that, just counting in your head. Helps to keep you focused as well. And then if you'd like to and have the opportunity to stay here a little while longer, please do. Please go ahead. Otherwise, just going to bend the legs. Roll over onto one side. Just pressing into the hand as you bring yourself back up to sitting. Okay, and then again, we'll take a nice deep breath in, just floating the arms up. Exhale, let the hands come down. Let's do 2 more of those. Inhale, lift. We exhale to come down. One more time, breathing in, breathing out. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today. It's been lovely to have you here. Hope to see you again soon.